But now we turn to a third actor in these topics that we're talking about. Schools are a big player across the board in food waste, food recovery, sustainable diets. So I'm really pleased to introduce our final speaker, Kerry Dees. Kerry Dees, for 31 years, has been a passionate educator and school administrator, teaching and leading students from preschool to 8th grade. She's a proud native of the San Francisco Bay Area, having grown up and lived on the peninsula her entire life. In her work, she's dedicated to promoting inclusivity and sustainability, fostering leadership opportunities, and engaging in national advocacy through various professional associations. She received the San Mateo County Office of Education Changemaker Award in 2023. And this is some of what her colleagues have shared about her. She's a fierce advocate for children. She has an unwavering student-centered lens, an uncanny ability to constantly scan for and identify needs and deftly swoop in with proactive solutions that support the entire school community. I'm excited to hear about these solutions for reducing food waste. Kerry?
I'm reeling back from the comments. Thank you so much. And Simona, Molly, thank you for bringing me here to just share with you what things look like at schools, or what they could look like in our elementary schools. I'm sure everybody went to some sort of school, had a teacher they loved, a principal that they adored. But I just want to, take this moment to share with you what can be done. I just remember recycling, like just recycling, put the paper, put the cans. And as you can see, there's a crucial part that we can educate our kids a little bit differently. So I'm going to share with you some pictures, just tell you a story about all our sustainable efforts, and then finish up with what we're doing the past couple years with our food reduction. There are lots of things that our schools can participate in, and this is not done alone by just your school leader. You have to work with your partners in the city and the county. And through all of this work, I'm just proud to, say that through all of our efforts, not alone, we have become a San Mateo County sustainable and climate ready school, a climate and resilient school with the San Mateo County Office of Education, recently awarded a Green Star school, as well as the first Millbrae school to become a green business. So I want to, all of the things have been a part of that. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of our journey. So all things sustainable is really about a school culture. It takes years. So I'm just starting my 5th year at Green Hills Elementary. And to give you a point, if your favorite pancake is at the Millbrae Pancake House, we're about 4 blocks up the street. So come by anytime. We dead end right where the Green Hills Country Club is. So the pictures I'm sharing with you are the essence of having a strong community culture. You can see a parent here and some of our 5th graders last year that we worked with Flows to the Bay. We installed rain barrels. On the other side is a school garden. That school garden was built with Eagle Scouts that reach out to all the schools to do their projects. We also work with the San Mateo County Office of Education Safe Routes to School, and we're proud to launch an extension of our walking school buses. We'll be moving from once a month to weekly walk to school Wednesdays. And that's partnering with all of the opportunities, Ruby Bridges Walk to School Day, International Walk and Roll to School Day, lots of opportunities that we can sort of embrace and share with our school communities. In addition, we recently worked with our high school friends over at Burlingame High School. They piloted a sustainable foodware program. If you've been to a school cafeteria recently, there's a lot of plastic. But they funded a pilot program for our 3rd through 5th graders in which they gave the foodware to our students, and then we incentivized them, bringing them back every time with stickers and applause. But it's really important to engage with our young leaders that are coming up through middle school and high school. One of the first things that we need to do at our schools, if you haven't heard about it, is really embrace the leadership. A lot of student councils, we were able to just capitalize on the fact that we have green in our school name. So we have a green team, and that have been recognized at different San Mateo County schools as well. I really encourage, if you have any leadership opportunities, to tap in at your elementary or middle schools. This is really something that kids, see and they hear and they feel, and they're really proud to share what they're doing with their school. The next slide is moving on to food. So recently we worked with our Eagle Scouts, San Mateo Office of Sustainability. We have our tri-bin composting station that's currently making mulch for our gardens. And last year we also implemented the food share tables, which is really great. And I think I have the next one. I'm going to click right. We had our green team make a presentation to all the classrooms, and we posted this out to our community. I just clicked right.
We are green team leaders, and this is the table share, where we put our food
and vegetables that we don't eat. This is the hot food one. It has all the hot food, and then sometimes we get some meals. This is where the ice packs are, and it's where all the cold foods are, like the milk and the carrots. Then here's the fruit and packaged snacks. We have pears, and sometimes it has like snacks and stuff. And then this is utensils and condiments. It has like various packets and utensils. And then this all goes to reuse.
and this is the bucket where we put our food that we eaten and put in the cupboard so we make soil.
Hello, today we will be showing you how we produce our own compost for our garden.
In the compost bins, we put fruits and vegetables from lunch.
We also put the cardboard trays and we rip them up and put it in there. We do not put anything else.
Now we will begin tending to our compost.
This is the early stages. So I think you get the point. But with all of the things that we've been able to implement, there's still challenges. And there I am championing some of our school food waste with my latest AI Gemini and our green team that we've established. So we have a lot of barriers and things to still overcome. The first is time and resources. I worked really closely with our director of child nutrition because all things 1383 also come upon her desktop. And one of the things that we have tried to work on is proper sorting, is moving. They did a great job, but all the right things don't get in the right bins sometimes at school. So that's part of our education. These green team kids go to all the classrooms and educate how to properly sort. We also have food that is often stuck to packaging. We serve yogurt, but we can't get all the yogurt out. So all the yogurt in the plastic bin goes into landfill. We have cheese cups. The cheese cups don't get fully cleaned out, so it goes into landfill. We have the cooked food waste that goes to the shared table. We have kids that take a bite and then don't eat it. They don't like it. We are offering choice, which is our responsibility, but there's also a hiccup that they have to take a fruit or vegetable. Was that your favorite thing to eat in third grade? Maybe not. So we are required to make them take a main item a hot dog, a chicken leg, a salad, and then a side has to be a choice of a fruit or a vegetable. Fortunately, you don't have to take milk anymore. However, with that, the food that is not eaten entirely, some of it can be composted and some of it cannot. We also have the opportunities to put things in food banks, to give things to some of our shelters, but the time and the resources are not at schools. By the time lunch is over and we're able to keep refrigerated enough out on a hot summer day or sunny day at the schools, the temperature has changed. Our director of nutrition doesn't want to risk anyone getting sick, and we don't have proper refrigeration or maintaining heat, as well as bringing them to the place that it needs. We don't have the transportation. We don't have the people to get it where it needs to go. So those are just some of our challenges, but we are making movement. And I just want to applaud as well the partners. It takes teachers, it takes parents, it takes students. And that's what we get when we're at schools. We also do have to work with our nutrition department, our superintendents and school boards need to feel this same passion as well and make it directives. San Mateo County Office of Education, great resources. Like I mentioned, safe routes to school, sustainability departments. We work closely with South City Scavengers in Millbrae. And then always tap into our youth that want to help us out as well, our Eagle Scouts and our students that I highlighted at Burlingame High School. We've had a lot of help with that. So with that, here's me, my contact. I'm proud to represent Millbrae Elementary School District here today. And like I said, we're on Ludeman Avenue, right up from the Pancake House. And I'm here to take any questions or ideas or any alternative solutions to how we can better support our food waste in our schools. Thank you.
Hi, this is Wendy Cho. I'm with the nonprofit Actera. First, I just wanted to commend you on all the wonderful work you've done at your school. It sounds amazing. I'm really excited to hear about all these things. I have two comments. One is that Actera is a network manager for the San Mateo County Food System Alliance. So I just wanted everyone to know that we're also a resource for that expanding of partnerships in the community that you mentioned. We have a farm to school committee, and some of the members of that committee are forwarding solutions like bulk milk dispensers. So kids just get the amount of milk that they want to drink, and then they don't waste what's left in the carton. And that it's actually been shown that the waste does go down, and also the costs go down for the district when they don't have to be buying all that cardboard. So that's something that we've been forwarding. Another thing that our members have observed is that the time for students to eat lunch is quite restricted because, of course, they want to go out and enjoy recess, they want to play, and just, you know, the length of time, it might make a difference for food waste prevention to have a little more time for those meals. And any comments on that?
No, I did want to highlight time as well. You know, at my school in particular, we've got just a limited of time. We have certain grade levels eat, and then they have to clean up to make space for the other group that's coming to eat. And sometimes I'll admit, I'm sort of rushing kids to clean up so that they can move on. And some of them then see the playground, so they don't finish. I've heard about a few things I'm willing to entertain, like they want to get up and they talk to their friends. It's their first opportunity to kind of be in an unstructured environment, which also, you know, I would say wastes eating time, but it's not because it's so important socially. And as a culture, food does bring us together. But one thing I've heard at one of my other advocacy groups is that they have a 5-minute eat in silence. It's going to be hard, but it could be a goal where they're actually just starting to eat and consume. You can consume a lot in 5 minutes. And then, okay, now it's party time. Now you can kind of eat and celebrate with your friends. But it is something we're bound to instructional time. We're bound to teacher supervision and duty-free lunches, which also might increase the instructional day. which impacts transportation, which impacts parent schedules, which impacts after school programs. So there's a lot to overcome in both the time piece of it, but I appreciate you bringing that up, especially better ways to not have milk carton food waste. A lot goes into the landfill.
Hi, thank you so much for all the activities. It's just amazing. Wanted to say that I'm with reuse organizations running locally to move everything to reusables, basically not throw anything away. It's a great match with the food waste. So specifically in schools is one of our focuses. It's not the only one, but looking for anything that interest from your own school, A, to move to reusables, B, to match it with all the food waste initiatives, B, from anybody else in the crowd who's interested in these initiatives, not only for that school, to get them together and make sure that we're making the most out of it. So for your school is your interest, and for everybody in the crowd, be happy to connect later.
Great, thank you.
First off, thank you. I think you used to teach it, or you were vice principal at Clifford a few years ago, right?
That is true.
Okay. Do you find that I've read a lot of research on this topic across the U.S. Do you think that you're an outlier in this community, or do you feel like when you meet with other educators, other principals, that they're following some of these basic principles and doing something, I think, that really moves the needle? Because let's face it, us as adults, I don't think I see a compost barrel here for our food waste, but that's just maybe outside. But I mean, do education at school, teachers have a lot on their plate, teaching them, having them spend another 10 minutes a day or a week or a month talking about these things. How do you do it? Do you think you're an outlier? And how do we amplify it?
I hope I'm not an outlier. But when I've had other outside agencies visit the school, they have said, even if within my school district and school board, they say, I wish all the schools did this. So I think it is about building capacity within our school leaders and sort of trying to have that shared passion, just using our information that we have through all of our resources here, and really, owning that as our responsibility to teach our children these things. I had a fourth grader last year who actually said, there's a name for that generation now, it's Alpha. So she even said, after a presentation in the class, it's up to our Alpha generation to make this change happen. So they're well aware of it. We weren't aware of these things likely in the 80s or 70s, right?
Hi, Kerry. I have a question over here.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Sam from Plant-Based Treaty. Thank you for, first of all, congratulations on such an incredible program at your school. I really appreciate everything you're doing with the green team. I have actually two questions. The first one is, how do you educate the kids, and is there a program that regularly educate about sustainability and, all things sustainable? And then my second question is really, how did you get milk to not be a choice? That must have been a really challenging way to get that off the menu. And I'd love to hear more about that. Thank you.
Well, I think, like I mentioned, it wasn't me. I actually have a team of fifth grade teachers that really lead the charge with the green team. And they personally have made it a priority. It's who they are as human beings. One of them is actually the district coordinator for San Mateo County Outdoor Education. So that has a layer in it as well. But it's really about finding those partners. I think the county has access to them. I think principals and school leaders just need to pay attention to those emails that might say something like the eco exchange that happened at the San Mateo County Office of Education last week. And so I think that I believe that it really takes, some partnership, and that's where you're really going to gain traction, and tapping into the opportunities for our youth as well, because they bring it to their peers, which is much more impactful than us as adults. I hope that answered. both questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to
one more.
respond to your question about what's going on at schools around the county. So I direct the Environmental Literacy and Sustainability Program at the San Mateo County Office of Education, which Kerry's been talking about. Kerry is absolutely one of our biggest champions, but there's actually a plethora of schools that have green teams, just like Kerry's. Kerry's is super successful. They're at, different levels of success for sure. We also have sustainability committees at every high school district and also all of the unified districts with the exception of one. And I will tell you that their number one concern is waste and particularly food waste. The Youth Commission this year is making that their topic. So they are focusing on food waste. We also have a Youth Climate Ambassadors program, which is high school students from around the county. It's been going now, this is our 7th year. And they always, that's again, one of the first things that they want to talk about. It's very visible at their schools. And so students are very aware, teachers are very aware, principals like Kerry are very aware. There's just some of those barriers that Kerry was talking about that everybody's trying to work through. And so we do have a long way to go, but at the same time, I wanted you to rest assured that there's a lot going on in schools.
Thank you. And thank you so much. It was a pleasure and honor to be here today.